Hey, good morning. Um, as we had talked, I guess, or as we haven't talked, but as we kind of gone through this little path that we're on right now, we had designated last week and talked about designating this last week, just preparing you guys for the exam that you'll be taking next Monday at 1 o'clock. Um, so what I've done is obviously there's no more assignments this week. There's obviously the things that you can be doing is still going through reviewing. I would not be spending hours upon hours upon hours reviewing. If you did everything that I asked in the last 5 to 6 weeks, I think you guys would be great upon hopefully going through just a series of questions. But from here on out, it's just making sure that on the test day that you guys are completely prepared for what is going to happen. So I have a couple things. One, I put the checklist down for you guys. I'm going to kind of put this in the middle. Excuse me. What I have is basically the testing guide that I gave you the a couple weeks ago. Just kind of taking you through again a series of things, what you need to know, what you should have in front of you, and little things like that. But I have also kind of just compiled after going through the ways that you can upload the test and just kind of the testing format, just some of the things that I think would help you guys out quite a bit on compiling over the week, and especially having ready to go Monday morning, just to make sure that again everything is prepared. You're 100% bought in, and have no distractions, no worries whatsoever. So um, so again, you guys can follow through. So remember on the exam, you're going to be given two questions. Okay. And hopefully you guys utilize that practice demo as much as you possibly can, because you can do that as much as you want and just get you prepared, again, for that exam. So, but the two questions, the first question you're going to have is going to be basically a 10-point base. The second one you're going to have is like 4-point based. And the first one, again, I think they're giving you 30 minutes for it. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the second question, they're going to give you guys 15 minutes, 25 plus the 5 minutes for the upload, and then 15 minutes on the second questions for the 15 minutes, and then 5 minutes for that upload for that one. So we'll talk about that upload process here, because to me, I mean, there's really two ways, obviously, that you guys can do it. I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So what I would do, first and foremost, you guys need to double check your guys' email on AP Central. And if you guys log onto there, you'll also find your identification along with that. If you have any questions as far as where to locate that, ask. I can get that for you. But again, once you go through, you'll log on. It's going to give you your, I think, your account information, something like that. It's called. You're going to check your email, make sure that is correct, and then obviously you're going to have your identification number, which will be given to you also on that same screen. You're going to want both those handy. Okay. The email itself, again, just double check, make sure it's right. That's where they're going to be sending you the e-ticket for test day, and any other information that you guys need at this point in time. I've had one person that has not had a correct email on there, so I think we got that switched out. The rest of you, please make sure you guys double check that on test day. Okay, so you should have present Monday morning next week. You should have a couple things present for you. Okay, one, you should be looking at having in front of you your e-ticket that they're going to send you in an email. And they said a couple of days before. I'm going to double check with some teachers today, just to make sure that has happened flawlessly. You should have your identification number with you. Again, that is given to you on the AP Central website. The way that you're going to test, there's two different ways. And I think to me, it's just based on whether or not you're comfortable with a computer, whether or not you're comfortable just writing things out. If you're going to use a computer, I think this is probably the best situation that you guys can use. You're going to use your computer, obviously have that out, charge cord ready to go. Again, making sure that there's no browsers, nothing is opened up other than, I think, Google Chrome, I believe. Well, there's a couple of them, but I would use Google Chrome because that's one that generally we use anyway, and have that sitting up. If you're going to go the other route of using another compatible device, like you want to handwrite your answers out, I would prefer you guys to use an iPad if you have an iPad, or other some form of Android device, a larger Android device. I think a phone will work fine, but just just the smallness of the screens and stuff. It just seems like, to me, just always a little bit more confusion. But you guys are obviously a little bit more technological savvy than I am. So again, you guys kind of decide. Now, along with that, you guys should obviously have multiple pages of paper, setting up just depending on, again, how much you think you're going to write and so on down the line. So again, if you're going to use a computer, obviously you just need your computer sitting up with you. If you're going to handwrite it, multiple pieces of paper, and then you're going to be going through your iPad. So those are two possible ways that you can do this. All right. Now, obviously, pencils sharpened, have 4 or 5 handy, just in case. You never know. I would personally take those 1-page notes that I sent you on Friday of last week, and I would have those printed out, and I would just have those sitting out in front of you. And that's probably something you guys could do throughout the week, is just go through and just double check and just add things to them that you guys want to add to them, just making sure that you have everything down packed. The other part that I would probably have is, or not probably have, I was going to be that formula sheet, that appendix sheet that I also set up for you guys at the beginning of the year. I believe I threw that back into Google Drive or the Google Classroom. If not, I'll make sure that I do that for you. Quiet spot, great wireless connectivity. All those things are just going to come in handy. Just get yourself an area for an hour to where there's going to be no issues whatsoever with people distracting you as you go through and take this. So let's talk about the actual testing format. And I tried to do it a couple minutes ago, but I think it's just easier if I just kind of break this down, based on how you're going to take the test. So if you're going to use your computer, I would have your computer set up to where you're going to, 30 minutes before you log on to the AP website that they send you, the link. You get onto the test, make sure that everything is ready to go. And I think they had said 30 minutes beforehand you guys can get on. And I would suggest that just make sure there's no problems. I would also set up Microsoft Word. As you can see here, I would set this up under a split screen. I would do one side over here, obviously the word that you're going to be typing into. The other side over on the right, I would have the exam question, or be ready for the exam question, have the side where the exam question is going to be. So that way, when that question does come up, you guys can immediately just get over and start typing. Now, at the top of your pages, and I would do this no matter if you're using a computer, if you're writing on paper, you need to have your AP Central identification. I would have your initials below it, and then I would also do a page number probably over in the top right-hand corner, okay? Just to make sure that you have everything kind of all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. So when you guys are finished with your exam, and again, you get 25 minutes not your exam, the first question, 25 minutes to answer that first question, 5 minutes to upload. If you're using a computer, there's 2 possible ways for you guys to go through and to upload your answer. One, you just save your file to your computer. I would just do a quick little, maybe even a folder on your desktop, and just in that folder, just have AP questions. And then that way you can set this up as question 1 and question 2. When you save them, that way you immediately know where to go to find that question. The other part, so simple. I think you just copy and paste. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's just going to save you time from having to save and everything else. And all you do, basically, boom, click, copy, drag it over, paste it into the little area that they're going to give you. I think it's simple. That's probably the way that I would go if I were you guys, but to each their own. So you guys just get a feel for which one you like better. But those would be the 2 possible ways if you're going to use a computer. I don't know if there's any other way I'd use, other than if you're just you'd rather just handwrite things out, because I think that's about as simple as it gets when it gets to this test, and just less confusion, less problems. However, when I did go through the testing demo a couple of times last week, it did seem pretty easy if you guys wanted to handwrite things out. So where I would go is, do not treat this like you should have multiple devices open. Like you need to take a picture with your iPad and then upload it to the computer. What I would do is that if you're going to handwrite this, you put your computer away. You don't even have that out, and you have just an iPad out, for example. And again, 30 minutes beforehand, you're going to log on to the site. Instead of having the Microsoft Word, you're going to have just pieces of paper, lined paper, pencils, pens, something that's going to give you a dark enough coloration so that way you can see it. On the top of those pages, and remember, there's 2 questions. So what I would do is I would simply have a stack of paper for question 1 and a stack of papers for question 2. For question 1, I would probably have anywhere from 3 to 5 pages ready to go. For question 2, I would probably have anywhere from 2 to 4 pages ready to go. Probably not going to use them, but just in case. And on the top of those pages, again, you should have your identification. All right. Below that, you're going to have I put down name, but you should actually have your initials and then your page number over on the top right-hand corner. All right. So again, do not use multiple devices. Just use one single device and just use your iPad. Have that. You have your questions set up over here on your iPad. You're writing down your answers. When you are getting ready, again, you've got your 25 minutes for that first question. When you're getting ready to upload your question, there's going to be a box, and you guys should have gone through this already, to where you just upload photo, immediately takes you to your camera setting on your iPad. And then you just take a picture of yours. It automatically puts it in there. You need a one picture for each page. So if you're writing multiple pages, again, you need to take a picture of each page. Do not take one big picture of everything and then upload that. Every single page needs to have a picture. To me, that was a pretty simple way as well. The biggest confusion I think comes up, and I heard other people talking, that I do not want you guys to do, is not have to take that picture and save it and then upload it to your computer and then drop that into the attachments on your computer. You need to just have your iPad opened up. And again, we can talk about this more in the future. So you'll get that 5-minute window to respond. It probably take you guys 30 seconds to a minute to get that done. So I don't think there's really any panic there. And then you're going to sit back and wait, and you're going to wait for that second question to open up. Again, just some things that you guys, I think, really want to work on this week, and just making sure that you have ready to go. Try not to wait till next Monday to get all this stuff situated. Just so on Monday morning you can kind of wake up and have a good breakfast and kind of go about your morning and get yourself ready for that exam at 1 o'clock. So again, I will be having Zoom meetings tomorrow, 8:30 to 9:30, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as long as participation is there. And kind of just asking or answering any questions that you guys think you may have. It's not mandatory whatsoever. I don't really have a guide or anything that I'm going to go by. I'm just going to kind of wait for you guys to get on. And if you have questions, you have questions. If you want to talk, you want to talk, whatever it is. Otherwise, hope your time away is going well. Hope you guys are staying safe. And again, if you have any other questions offline, make sure you guys email me.